Lads, today we're talking about this, and we're talking about this whole thing, and is it proof that the WNBA players hate Caitlin Clark? And I don't mean hate Caitlin Clark. Like, I'm gonna come, well, to be fair, I don't mean hate Caitlin Clark, hate Caitlin Clark person. I don't think any of them do. I don't think that's a thing. But just hate the entire idea. So, we're talking about all-star voting here, where the players voted Caitlin Clark as the 9th best player at her position in the WNBA.
Does this prove WNBA players meet secretly in locker rooms to plot against Caitlin Clark, or is she just too good too fast and too calm for the league to handle we dive into elbows, side eyes, and post-game interviews that sound like a drama reboot? This is not just basketball. It is a full soap opera in sneakers. Let's break down the Caitlin conspiracy.
The starters have been revealed today. You got Aaliyah Boston, shout out to AB, Paige Beckers, Caitlin Clark, Nafisa Collier, Alicia Gray, Sabrina Ionescu, Aneka Ogwumike, Satu Sabali, Brianna Stewart, and Asia Wilson will be your 10 starters that Clark and Nafisa Collier get to choose from. And what everybody is talking about are the player rankings when it comes to the All-Star ballot.
They hate her, and that is not even a question anymore. It feels like a league-wide hobby. Now players look upset every time she touches the ball, like someone just canceled their favorite show, Body Language. It says everything stiff, faces cold glances, elbows aimed straight at her.
Caitlin Clark, and the WNBA All-Star voting, we now know who the 10 starters are going to be. And we also got a peel back the curtain reveal on what the other players in the league think of Caitlin Clark. This All-Star voting told us something, and it confirms exactly what we think. The other players in the league can't stand Caitlin Clark. I mean, it's baffling. I've seen some people trying to claim she shouldn't be in the game. She's tied for the league lead in assists.
Some veterans act like they're auditioning for Survivor Elbow Island just because Caitlin walked into a Nike deal with camera crew and more fans and whole teams, and yes, that burns.
Looking at the percentages here, let's compare Jackie Young to Natasha Cloud. Even with Caitlin Clark on her, like, the 56th in points per game, Caitlin Clark has more points this season than Jackie Young. Sorry, not Jackie Young, than Natasha Cloud. Caitlin Clark has more points this season than Natasha Cloud. Natasha Cloud, I'm not joking when I say this, has played, am I right in saying she's played 8 more games than Caitlin Clark? I think she's played 8 more games than Caitlin Clark. Like, she has less points in 8 more games. She is 3rd in assists, in fairness. Alyssa Thomas is probably going to average above 10 assists.
These players spent years in empty arenas giving away tickets like flyers. And now a rookie shows up and grabs primetime attention. In 1 week more than they did in 10 years, it feels like a slap in the face.
Opinion, do you feel like Caitlin Clark gets kind of targeted at some of these games, or it's just basketball?
Yeah, she get targeted just like Jordan got targeted.
It's a privilege. You're the best player.
The Jordan rules. They have the Jordan rules. When you're so good, yeah, you're going to get targeted. Absolutely. It just is what it is.
Absolutely.
Like, come on, man. You got to, like, when you at a disadvantage, like, I feel like, just like boxing or something, if you fighting against the best, you got to do something.
Funny thing is, she never asked for this. She did not show up shouting or demanding anything. She just hit logo threes and sold out arenas. The league responded not with cheers, but with elbows, swallowed whistles, and team tactics that look more like intimidation than basketball. Every team seems to say, don't stop her, just scare her. And when fans voted her into the All-Star game, it felt like a campaign. She dominated the vote, but still barely made it. Because the league
Sophie
can't
Cunningham
accept her
said
as
nobody
the
likes
face.
us about the Indiana Fever, and the player voting returns for the WNBA All-Star game don't exactly dispel that notion, because Caitlin Clark received the most votes overall, like captain on the team alongside Nafisa Collier. Another starter, Aaliyah Boston, was right behind them in votes, yet both Clark and AB were ranked 9th by the players in guards in front.
V6. Then the Olympic team left her off. That was not a simple snub. That was a message she broke. Records revived interest in women's basketball and still got treated like a background extra in her own story. The league said it about experience, but we all know that's just a cover. If it was about talent, she is, and if it was about fans, she's the first pick. But if it's about protecting egos, then suddenly she's not ready. Even her own fans are. confuse some build shrines others vote for anyone else like. They are under a spell.
She's averaging 18 points a game. I mean, she's in a 3-game shooting downturn. All right? A 3-game shooting slump. And other than that, in the injuries, it's been business as usual for most.
But it's still work Caitlin brings a wave of attention, even if some want her to ride it back to Iowa. If fans had not voted, she would be watching the game at home with popcorn. That is how deep the resistance goes. League leaders hold their clipboards tight, like she is dangerous. They say she is not ready, but what they mean is she is not quiet enough. Her presence challenges their comfort zone. She brings fans with loud voices and real questions, and that scares the ones in charge.
WNBA All-Star starters have been announced, y'all. They've been announced. Y'all want to guess who not starting? Hey, listen, some people don't belong in certain conversations. Do y'all want to guess who's not an all-star starter, y'all? It's a snub that should have been a starter. I got a couple people that I think should have been starting, but we will get.
Instead of celebrating a once-in-generation rookie, they freeze her out with bruises and silence, press conferences, interviews, sidelines, all of it. She still stands, she still smiles, she still shoots from deep like she runs on pure defiance. She has not just survived the hate, she grows from it. Every cold shoulder becomes a sold-out game. She shows the old way is broken, and that shakes those who relied on it. She did not create this chaos, but now she is at the center of it, even when benched or hacked or left off lists. She remains the most watched and talked about player.
Talk about hatred, when we talk about jealousy, when we talk about pettiness, Caitlin Clark's name always pops up because that's what she receives on a daily basis. And for the players to vote her 9th in guards just lets you know how out of touch they are. And it's not because of her game. It's simply because of those 3 things that I mentioned. She was ranked first by the fans, which makes sense. She was ranked number 3 by the media, which kind of makes sense. Anywhere between the 1, 2, or 3rd, that's fine. And then she was ranked 9th by the players. And it's just so funny. 9th rated player for a guard.
And here's the punchline. The WNBA may not want her, but they need her love or hate Caitlin. She is the entire conversation. In a league that begged for attention, she is the attention. They act like she's not the star, but fans already bought tickets to her show. And speaking of jokes, let's talk rankings. Reese was placed 12th by the same players who act camera shy until Caitlin arrived. Caitlin was ranked behind Kiki Yes Kiki, who most fans think is a lyric, not a player. It's ridiculous. Reese is bold, loud, and magnetic, and 12th is not a rank. It is a cry from a league still stuck in high school drama.
How do you feel about the WNBA players bashing Caitlin Clark?
Okay. So I'm going to state some facts here and not opinions because this is a controversial topic for some crazy reason. The WNBA is a subsidized league. What it means subsidized means is that the NBA basically gives their money so the WNBA could exist because the WNBA does not produce any revenue.
They lose money, actually.
They lose money. Okay, so Caitlin Clark, a generational women's basketball player, finally comes around where people are like, oh my God, this girl is amazing. She gets drafted. She's putting up crazy numbers. She's entertaining. Ticket sales go up. Revenue goes up. She brings all this money to the league. Also, she turned down a contract in the Big Three, making millions of dollars to go make $75,000 a year in the WNBA.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you go on ESPN and all these things and all these her peers in the WNBA.
They say it's a meritocracy, but really it's a popularity contest. Without the popularity, the rule is stay quiet and humble or lose points. Reese talks big and plays big and still gets pushed down. Meanwhile, players with weak stats get praised for staying quiet. Angel Reese is a real star, not a backup. Not a side story. She shows up, and the crowd reacts. Her social media explodes. She brings flair and power, and still gets overlooked while others skate by with silent games and average plays. This is not about talent. It's about control and resentment. The spreadsheet says know your place.
This is supposed to be the most popular players, right? Oh, man. Let's see who got fans, y'all. Let's see who can get some fans to vote. The 2025 WNBA All-Star starters. We got Aaliyah Boston, the meme machine from the Indiana Fever. We got Paige Beckers, the great rookie out of Dallas having an awesome rookie season. We got the GOAT, Caitlin Clark, the one and only. Not the icing on the cake, the whole cake. Not the needle mover, the needle. The one and only GOAT, CC22, Caitlin Clark.
And the wildest thing, Reese keeps playing through it proud and unfazed. She makes people feel something, and that's priceless in a league needing attention. She's more valuable than 10 safe players with no energy. These rankings feel like a school project where the one who did the work gets punished for having style, and the one who did nothing gets praised for behaving. It's not just Reese. This whole league is acting like a soap opera. With poor writing, Caitlin gets body checked. Reese gets dropped. In ranks, Juju should already prepare for her future gaslight session. The truth is the league still acts like no one's watching.
As you guys know by now, WNBA All-Star captains have been announced. Team Collier versus Team Clark, the top two vote getters when it comes to fan voting. Caitlin Clark, over 1.2 million fan votes. Nafisa Collier not too far behind with 1.1 million fan votes. Aaliyah Boston was close, less than 2,000 votes away from a Team Clark versus Team Boston All-Star game experience. That would have been quite the entertainment, but instead we get Team Clark versus Team Nafisa Collier, and something that I think is getting overlooked is who's going to be coaching Caitlin Clark.